Tonight, wild weather lashes Sydney with major flood alerts for the Hawkesbury Nepean and warnings to residents be prepared to evacuate. Anthony Albanese and Emmanuel Macron put the submarine crisis behind them and pledge a new start for Australia's relationship with France. Thousands brave the rain and march across the country in support of US abortion rights. New horror, at least 21 dead in a Russian missile attack on a Ukrainian apartment block. A final farewell for the Sydney bride killed in a golf buggy accident while on her honeymoon. And Sydney's big deluge, perfect for Sharks, circling the NRL finals.
Live from Sydney, 7 News with Ann Sanders.
Good evening. Sydney's being lashed by heavy rain tonight and residents in flood zones are being told to be ready to evacuate. A dangerous combination of large downpours, flooding and high-speed winds has already battered our city, and the worst is still on the way.
The big wet moving in over Sydney this morning. Umbrellas, the go-to accessory at Town Hall. Saturday sport, a bit messier than usual.
Some play on, it's bouncing around in there.
While for others, another all too familiar routine, filling sandbags.
6 months ago, we were all affected by the floods that came into our houses, yeah.
You went under or what happened?
We went under.
Things everywhere still, cut bits of dry, gyp rock. So it's been hard, and now to have to do it again.
The tradies are still repairing the damage to their homes after the last floods, and now...
Here we go again.
Watching Warragamba spill yesterday as it sits near capacity.
It seems strange that we're not talking about releasing it earlier, and while we're waiting for an extreme weather event.
On the other side of the Hawkesbury River, they're moving valuables out of harm's way.
Oh, last time I had the same thing to do. I had to take everything out, put it in here, wait till it all subsided and then move it all back in again. It's a nice view, but not at the moment.
Traffic getting around Sydney certainly felt the pinch on the first day of holidays. Airport queues affected too.
Because it's a combination of both extreme wet weather and the start of the school holidays, there's going to be lots of cars on the road, and that's pretty much every road you can think of.
Emergency crews have already been called to carry out 4 rescues, including this one in Bexley under the rail bridge.
If you have not yet been impacted by rainfall, don't think you have been spared. We may not have seen the worst of it yet.
SES volunteers busy across the Shire this morning with leaking roofs at Kirrawee. Nothing compared to what's to come. As 200 millimetres of rain falls across much of the Illawarra and southern Sydney, more than a month's worth of rain in just one day.
There'll be an escalation of the weather, a deterioration of the weather. So the rainfall rates will increase. We'll start to see the wind increase as well.
After so much criticism last time at the delayed flood response, the new federal government is making sure that doesn't happen again. Already 2 rescue helicopters are on standby, one at Nowra and one at Holsworthy, to be where they're needed most within an hour.
So the helicopters will be ready from this evening, basically from when it gets dark tonight. The troops will be available from tomorrow morning should they be required, whether it be for community evacuations or clean-up.
And Evan Batten joins us live from Windsor. Hi there, Evan. The bridge went under in the last big rainfall. How's it looking there tonight?
Yeah, and you'll remember this was the supposedly flood-proof Windsor Bridge when they first opened it, and it's gone under many times now. That'll be one of the focal points for everybody as they watch the floodwaters rise in the hours and days ahead. At this stage, though, you'd have to say it's got a fair way to go, although the Bureau of Meteorology does have a warning in place that in the coming hours, in the early hours of tomorrow morning, the Upper Nepean is expected to breach its major flood levels. The Lower Nepean and Hawkesbury is expected to follow suit in the hours after that. So, Anne, you'd have to say for those residents who are on evacuation alert at this stage, this situation certainly still has a long way to go.
Yeah, it's a worrying time. Evan Batten in Windsor. Thank you, Evan. Well, Sally Barry's here now. Sal, what are the latest weather warnings?
And the Weather Bureau has just issued the latest warning in the last hour or so. Sydney is being warned to brace for flooding rains into tomorrow as that surface trough deepens off the Illawarra. We've got weather models tipping the low to form off the Hunter Coast. That'll be into tomorrow afternoon. It's still hard to pinpoint exactly where it will form, and that can really sway where we see that really intense heavy rainfall. At this stage, we're expecting the rain bullseye from the northern half of the Illawarra, including Sydney, and into the southern half of the Hunter, and that includes the Central Coast. Widespread 100 to 200 millimetres of rain is forecast, and that, of course, has triggered those spate of flood warnings that are current tonight. Today, the heaviest falls have just been to the south of Sydney. Berry recorded around 284 millimetres of rain. The rain hasn't been falling as thick and fast through Sydney, but it really is relentless in terms of those rainfall totals. Around 50 millimetres in the gauges in the cities. Lucas Heights saw the highest totals so far. Of course, with this very heavy rain, we could see landslips and possibly debris across the roads. The low is also set to whip up big coastal surf and beach erosion into tomorrow. Right now in the city, though, it is 12 degrees in Parramatta, 14 along the coast. A bit of a lull in the rain at the moment. It'll be back in a big way tomorrow, though. I'll have all the details soon.
All right, Sal, see you then. Thank you. Anthony Albanese has met French President Emmanuel Macron to salvage Australia's relationship with France. Both leaders putting the botched submarine deal behind them. The Prime Minister is working to broker a free trade deal with Europe, now backed by one of its biggest players.
Extending the hand of friendship. Accepted with a kiss. Anthony Albanese and partner Jodie Hayden greeted like long-lost friends at the Elysee Palace by Emmanuel Macron and wife Brigitte. Going out of their way to demonstrate in the wake of the submarines row, the two countries are again hand in hand and comfortable in each other's presence.
It marks our willingness to rebuild the relationship based on trust between our two countries, based on mutual respect after what we all know was a difficult period of time.
Ms Hayden appearing relaxed in her first big public outing as a prime ministerial partner, as Mr Albanese suggested the country's troubles were now passé.
Australia's relationship with France matters. Trust, respect and honesty matters. This is how I will approach my relations.
That a none too subtle dig at Scott Morrison, accused by the French president of lying to him at an identical event before sinking the $90 billion subs deal.
I don't think I know.
The French call this moment rapprochement, the re-establishment of harmonious relations between nations, and Anthony Albanese hopes that translates as the truth.
The signs today suggesting that it will.
We will speak about the future, not the past. He is not responsible of what happened.
And praising the new government's deeper cuts to carbon emissions.
It gives us an opportunity to move together on many projects and initiatives.
Soothing words for the Australian Prime Minister, coupled with a promise that France will back a European free trade deal, now knowing the President has his back.
Mark Riley joins us from Paris. Mark, Anthony Albanese would be pretty happy with his meeting with President Macron.
Yeah, absolutely, and I had a word to the Prime Minister afterwards, and I know he was absolutely thrilled with those images. A very warm reception. Emmanuel Macron went out of his way to demonstrate that he wants a close relationship with Australia now that Scott Morrison is out of the way. The real test, though, will be how he does back in Australia's bid for a free trade deal with Europe. The French agricultural sector here is heavily protected, so his farmers won't be too happy about that, but he has committed to supporting Anthony Albanese's bid, and so have a lot of other leaders on this trip, so that will be interesting. I know now that Anthony Albanese is having another security briefing about that possible trip to Ukraine. I understand the security threat level has been increased to medium overnight, but that the Prime Minister certainly wants to go, and it's obvious that the Ukrainian government, particularly President Zelensky, want him there. Anne?
Mark Riley in Paris. Thank you, Mark. Moscow's assault on civilians in Ukraine has been described as another act of terror. As fighting continues in the east of the country, near the Ukrainian stronghold of Luhansk, a key oil refinery in the region has fallen to the Russians. But it's the Russian attacks on innocent people that has horrified the world. Military sources in Ukraine say there have been almost 70 attacks on civilians in the past 2 weeks. The latest assault on a quiet resort town near the southern port city of Odessa, leaving at least 21 dead, including 2 children.
This is the shattered remains of an apartment building, homes and lives destroyed in an early morning missile attack. Rescue crews search through the rubble for survivors. This team use a makeshift body bag to carry out the dead. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says the attack was deliberate, direct Russia terror, and not some mistake or an accidental missile strike. Ukrainian officials say 2 long-range Russian missiles hit the apartment block where it's believed 150 people live. 17-year-old Ivan survived. He helped carry out bodies from the building. It was a nightmare, he says. I used to think war was just fireworks, but now I see it. It's horrible. A third missile hit a nearby recreation centre. Officials say a child was among those killed in their beds. We heard strikes. We live close by, said this witness. We helped those who survived and, unfortunately, those who died. Over the past week, Russia has escalated attacks on areas far from the front lines. Just days ago, missiles slammed into a crowded shopping centre, killing 19 people in central Ukraine. Ukraine's lawmakers, daily witnesses to the horrors of a long-running war, needing a moment.
Thank you.
The country pushing for full membership of the European Union and the support it brings.
You are fighting back bravely. And Europe will stand up with Ukraine as long as it takes.
The Kremlin denies it is targeting civilians. Ukraine says these attacks on innocent lives are deliberate. In London, Miley Hogan, 7 News.
Hundreds of Sydney-siders have braved the rain to protest against the US abortion ruling and to ensure it never happens here. There were similar rallies across the country as emotion ran high and tempers boiled over.
Huddled under umbrellas, but no less vocal. Hundreds gathered at Town Hall, voicing their opposition to the US Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade.
Well, an attack on, American women is an attack on all women.
Some stepping out for the first time.
Supporting sisters all over the world, women should have a choice.
Others treading a well-worn path.
Rally about abortion was probably in 1972. I'm very disappointed that I have to be back again now.
While rallying against the ruling in the US, protesters also said it highlighted how easily our own laws could be overturned. Abortion was only decriminalised in New South Wales 3 years ago.
Have a think about that one. What's easily gained can be lost.
It wasn't a united front from everyone. In Melbourne, a counter-protester was covered in coffee and hounded out of the area.
So there are people who don't support women's rights to choose, are here to harass us. We're here to stand up for women's rights in Australia and around the world.
There were similar gatherings but fewer disruptions in Brisbane last night, as well as Adelaide, Perth and Hobart.
It's an issue that directly affects women, but it affects us massively as well.
Australians determined to be heard, whatever the weather. Paul Caddick, 7 News.
It's likely interest rates will go up again on Tuesday. Economists are tipping a rate rise by the Reserve Bank, putting more downward pressure on real estate prices. And while that brings fresh hope for those trying to break into the property market, it's also tougher to borrow money.
Rooms with a spectacular Sydney view.
It is the best spot in the world.
The first time on the market for nearly half a century.
You simply will not get better real estate than this in Chiswick.
And prompting a hard-fought auction. The pressure too much for some bidders.
We sell, we sell.
$4.6 million, they'd hoped for more.
There's a clear example where sellers are looking for a little bit more than what the market is prepared to pay, and that was evident in our result today.
In Caringbah, it was a win for a first home buyer.
All done.
Sold. Yes, totally. I don't know, I was really nervous, heart's still beating so fast.
Despite higher interest rates, which had the seller nervous.
We were concerned, yes, but we know it's a good location.
But spending power is tightening. A family of 4, income $150,000, could borrow nearly $1 million before rate rises, but by May next year, that limit is expected to fall to $792,000, a drop of more than $180,000.
People will be shocked when they go back to the bank to check on their borrowing capacity, to be told by their bank that they can now borrow significantly less.
With the Reserve Bank continuing its High Wire Act combating inflation, on Tuesday expected to increase interest rates again, the popular tip up by 0.5%. With more to come, not everybody is put off.
I think it's the right time to buy.
Chris Marr, 7 News.
Locked up on drugs charges and facing up to a decade in a Russian prison, American basketball star Brittney Griner has begun her defence in a Moscow court. US officials say securing the All-Stars release is a top priority, but her family is now calling for President Joe Biden to intervene.
Cuffed and led through a Moscow courthouse. WNBA star Brittney Griner arriving for her first day of what many have blasted as a sham trial.
She asked me to convey that she is in good spirits and is keeping up the faith.
Imprisoned in Russia on drugs charges for more than 130 days, her offence packed vape cartridges containing less than 1 gram of cannabis oil inside her luggage, a charge carrying a 10-year prison penalty in Russia.
It's really difficult. It's really difficult.
It's been a battle for wife Sherelle, frustrated by what she sees as a lack of political will.
Bring Brittney home!
She's now demanding a meeting with the US president.
I do have to, unfortunately, also push people to make sure that things that they're telling me is also matching their actions. And so it has been the hardest thing to balance.
Still, the State Department says it has no other higher priority than bringing Griner and other wrongfully detained Americans home. It's not a prospect her Russian lawyers would today comment on.
I wouldn't want to talk on the specifics on the case.
With Russian-US relations at boiling point, fanned by a war in Ukraine, suspicions are high the Kremlin is using Griner and detained American Paul Whelan as bargaining chips to possibly negotiate the release of a Russian arms dealer imprisoned in America.
I can't let up because it's over 130 days and BG's still not back.
In the United States, David Woywood, 7 News.
Only 3 weeks ago, the Coptic church in Rhodes was the scene of a joyful wedding. Today, hundreds of mourners gathered to say farewell to the young woman who'd been married there. Marina Morgan died last week in a buggy crash during her honeymoon on Hamilton Island. She was remembered as a caring woman who touched many lives.
A final goodbye for a love lost too young. 29-year-old Miranda Morgan, who tragically lost her life in a golf buggy accident on Hamilton Island last week, today farewelled. Hundreds gathered to remember a fearless bride.
I can't explain the sadness in my heart. My wife was loved by so many and so many felt her. She taught kindness.
The couple was enjoying their honeymoon just 10 days after their dream wedding, before tragedy struck. Marina suffered fatal injuries when the vehicle rolled. Today, family and friends mourn the loss of a daughter, sister, friend and wife.
Marina will never be forgotten. Her beautiful soul, angelic smile and caring nature will always be remembered and hopefully burn within us forever.
Even though it feels like your time on earth was rushed, today is a testament to the lives you impacted and touched.
Her husband Robbie determined to keep her legacy alive, a charity to be created in her name, supporting those less fortunate.
And it's in her honour that I'll be opening the Marina Morgan Foundation to spread hope, love and kindness throughout the world.
Police have ruled out alcohol as a cause of the crash, but the investigation remains open.
I will see you soon, Marina Rose, Hannah Morgan. Until then, rest in paradise.
Today's emotional farewell was full to capacity, showing both the love and respect for Marina and her family. A family who says they've lost a beautiful soul far too soon.
A date for the launch of the Marina Morgan Foundation is yet to be announced. Liam Tapper, 7 News.
There are calls for a return to mask mandates as COVID numbers soar. Next, the Omicron third wave cuts a swathe across Sydney with tens of thousands of new cases. Also, Julian Assange's latest legal bid that could halt his extradition to the US. Explosive protests erupt in Libya, the country's parliament torched. And British pop star Robbie Williams set to headline a major Australian event.
Summer Bay won't know what hit it.
Cash? Hello, stranger.
Is there something you want to tell me about you and my brother?
Home and Away, next week on 7.
It's got everything. This, some of these pants.
That's a shame. You could have bought a quality used car without the dodgy dealers. With the click of a button, Cars24 delivers straight to your door. Welcome to the future of used cars.
Steph Gilmore?
All or something.
Yeah, but it's...
Search AIA Insurance.
The Nick Scali half-yearly clearance has been extended. Your last chance to shop now and save big. The Nick Scali half-yearly clearance. Extended, but must end Sunday.
2 delicious serves of Pediasure every day helps improve appetite in 4 weeks. Turn your fussy eater into a healthy eater. With Pediasure, keep growing.
When I heard you could save 15% on your first year's premium when you buy a comprehensive car insurance policy online with Budget Direct, that's when I knew they'd solved it. It's time you switched to Budget Direct.
You know when all you can see is this area here? Lines, dark circles.
New Revitalift Eye Serum by L'Oreal with hyaluronic acid plus caffeine. Applied with a triple bead roller, eyes appear 5 years younger in just 2 weeks. New Revitalift Eye Serum by L'Oreal Paris.
Families can save up to $2,400 a year with Aldi. So, roll where the trolley takes you. Lose yourself to low prices. It's a vibe. Aldi, good. Different.
What am I looking forward to? Well, I just really want what I have today.
The more life changes, the more you know what's important. MLC.
At Geonadia, we are building the best map of the world using crowdsourced drone imagery of the Earth to see how it changes over time. As we continue to scale our business globally, it's important to have the right technology partners that are able to grow with us. And Dell offers us the opportunity to scale both our edge computing as well as our cloud computing and local storage services.
A Dell Technologies trusted advisor can help you find the right solutions for your business.
Here are the winners of last night's 7 News Coles giveaway. We're fighting for families and helping ease the cost of living. For another chance to win, watch 7 News on Monday to get the daily code word.
There are growing calls for us to return to wearing masks as COVID cases spike across the country. In New South Wales, there were 64,901 new cases this week. More than 1,600 COVID patients are in hospital, and in the last 24 hours, 20 people lost their lives. The third Omicron wave is putting increased pressure on hospitals and paramedics who are already dealing with high demand from the winter flu. There was no expense spared for the big finale of celebrations marking the 25th anniversary of Britain's handing over of Hong Kong to China. A glitzy gala was attended by Chinese President Xi Jinping, promoting the one country, two systems policy. The last British governor of Hong Kong reflecting on how much the city has changed since 1997.
It's in the process of turning a once free and open society, arguably the freest and most open in Asia, into a police state.
China has been heavily criticised for enacting laws suppressing free speech in Hong Kong. Australian WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has made a last-ditch appeal to avoid extradition from the UK to the United States. His lawyers are arguing he won't receive a fair trial in the US, where he's facing espionage charges and up to 175 years in jail. The appeal is likely to delay his scheduled extradition by months, even if it's unsuccessful. Protesters have torched Libya's parliament building in the eastern city of Tobruk. They were demonstrating against the political deadlock gripping the country before storming the building and setting it alight. There were no lawmakers inside at the time. The AFL has confirmed the worst-kept secret in football. It secured pop superstar Robbie Williams to perform at this year's grand final. Crowds have been promised an unprecedented spectacle as the MCG hosts its first grand final in 3 years.
Who better to headline the big dance than one of the world's greatest showmen?
I'm so excited to be performing for you on the hallowed turf of the MCG.
British superstar Robbie Williams has been confirmed as the AFL's pick for the pre-game entertainment when the grand final returns home after a COVID hiatus.
I can't wait to see you all on the last Saturday in September, performing at the greatest sporting event in the country, nay, the world.
He's a popular choice.
What an amazing artist to get here. Get a bit of talent here.
It'll draw a good crowd.
Rare support in a city that loves to debate the merits of local versus overseas musicians.
If we just booked, local acts all the time, we'd look a bit overly parochial, I think.
Mike Brady is synonymous with grand final entertainment and hopes to join Williams on the bill after performing to an empty MCG in 2020.
I've done it now since 1979, and I'd like to keep doing it as long as I can.
Robbie Williams has an affinity with Melbourne, performing a recent corporate show and filming his biopic here before striking the AFL deal.
And if it goes well, I might even put my hand up to be the next CEO.
That would be a pay cut. His performance fee is undisclosed, but likely to be in the millions.
See you all at the footy.
Abby Gelmy, 7 News.
The number of new general practice doctors has halved in the last 5 years. Next, what's driving doctors away from the profession and what it means for patients. Also, the new Sydney Rehab Centre helping patients on their journey to recovery. Plus, pre-made meals for your pets, the booming new industry.
And soon in sport, why Cameron Munster called a press conference to reveal his NRL future today.
The question that will stump them all.
After its theft, the Mona Lisa was recovered in which country? A, England. B, Germany. C, Italy.
Could you beat them to the answer?
Oh, idiots.
New The Chase, weekdays on 7.
Audiences and critics are raving about Disney and Cameron Mackintosh's Mary Poppins, now playing at the Sydney Lyric Theatre. Tickets are flying out the box office, so step in time only through Ticketmaster.
Many will consider your love for Muti to be unusual. Pay them no mind. Muti, when you know, you know.
The Snooze End of Financial Year sale is now on. Save up to 50% off mattresses, including Sealy, Madison and Tempur, up to 40% off bed frames and 30% off Snooze branded linen. Hurry, the Snooze End of Financial Year sale ends Sunday.
For flavor thrill seekers, there is only Connoisseur. Leave no flavor unexplored. Thrill your senses with Connoisseur.
Alright, stop what you're doing, cause I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. I look funny, but yo, I'm making money, see? So yo, world, I hope you're ready for me. Now gather round, I'm the new fool in town, and my sound's laid down by the
You can't see the generous dash of Queen Vanilla in your Just Because cupcakes or your best ever birthday cake. but they can taste it. A little Queen does wonders.
Chromebooks are a new way to laptop, starting with the everything button, so you can find anything the moment you need it. From files and apps, even answers online, instantly. And Chromebooks are secure with virus protection that's built in. So no more of this. And a lot more peace of mind. So peaceful. So if you're ready to upgrade to fast, easy and secure, don't just switch to a new laptop. Switch to a new way to laptop. Switch to Chromebook.
It's the feeling of waking up somewhere new. Somewhere you've been dreaming about. Do more of what you love. Feel more, live more on a caravan and camping holiday.
It often takes time to get an appointment to see a GP, and it's getting more difficult. The number of young doctors opting to become general practitioners has been slashed in half since 2015. Experts say the growing shortage is due to how much they earn and a lack of leave benefits for trainees. The shortage could be even more dire in years to come, with 40% of current GPs aged over 55. A new high-tech rehabilitation centre, the first of its kind in the Southern Hemisphere, has just opened in Ryde. It brings together the latest technology and specialised care for patients confronted with life-changing injuries.
For some traumatic injury patients, the long journey to recovery starts by putting one foot in front of the other. Whether it's the need for a full exoskeleton or specialised weight-bearing harnesses, for the first time in Australia, the latest technology is all under the one roof.
That can help them to overcome maybe their fear of falling or overcome their fear of pain.
The Royal Rehab's Advanced Technology Centre has just opened in Ryde.
There's nothing like it in this country, so this is a first. If there's somebody with a goal and they have a need, then we can provide that assistance.
John Nugent suffered a spinal cord injury, losing feelings in his legs. The new centre gives him hope.
So kind of the difference between a manual typewriter and a computer. This does so many things automatically and provides a therapist with so much information.
Not only for accident victims, but those living with degenerative conditions such as multiple sclerosis. The latest clinical advice, combining with high tech, gaming and virtual reality have a role to play.
Thrive to get back some level of normality and to be the best person they can be living with their newfound disability.
The Advanced Technology Centre can be accessed under a range of funding options, including the NDIS and workplace compensation schemes. The hope now is that government can help to fund similar centres across the country.
I feel safe here and I feel understood here.
Raymond Dale, 7 News.
A stretch limo has stretched the patience of drivers, getting stuck and blocking the driveway of the Fullerton Hotel on Pitt Street in the city. The super-sized car became wedged on a hump, forcing a wedding party to abandon their ride as attempts were made to free the stranded monster. The appetite for fresh meal deliveries is growing, and it's not just health-conscious families fueling demand. A mother and son from Perth have launched a meal service for dogs. It's proving so popular, they're hoping to expand to the rest of Australia.
A two-legged delivery for a four-legged family member. It's dinner, done differently for dogs.
I just don't have the time anymore to be doing everything individually and spending more time on preparing the dog's food than my own children's food. So it's so convenient, it's just amazing.
Human-grade fresh food for poachers. It comes in 5 meats, a mother and son creation.
What we also put in there are the liver, the kidney. Obviously, it's high in protein, the vegetables.
Meticulously made, carefully considered recipes. The business found itself in a strong position as the world shifted to contact-free.
Not only are we saving you time in terms of like preparing your own meals, but we're also saving you money, because buying all these like 50 different ingredients, all these superfoods, it gets pretty expensive.
It's $150 a month for 28 meals. Each works out to be the cost of a coffee.
You're not going to be at your best if you're eating junk food every day. So dogs are the same really. So it's much healthier, the meat quality is leaner, there's much less preservatives.
What started in a family kitchen in Sorrento quickly spread through the suburbs and even into some supermarkets. There's increasing demand from regional areas too. The plan, conquer the state and then go Australia-wide. A niche market, one that's finding its legs in Perth. Like Hello Doggo. Similar principle.
The fresh, real food revolution, I reckon, with dogs is upon us, and yeah, it's great to see everyone picking it up.
Jordan Cutts, 7 News.
Around 3,000 Australians are diagnosed with type 1 diabetes every year. Next, a life-saving device now available to all at a fraction of the cost. Also, the real reason kids aren't eating enough vegetables.
In sport, the livid Roosters roast the referee after losing to the Panthers.
It was wet across Sydney today, but tomorrow will be much worse. I'll have the latest weather warnings and the full forecast soon.
It's the movie that changed Australian cinema history. 30 years on, John Paul Young and the stars of Strictly Ballroom are stepping back on set.
You gave birth to Tina Sparkle.
Tina Sparkle, what an icon.
The sensational secrets behind the Aussie classic.
I'll do an east side now, but these floors don't look too good.
We're inviting you back to where it all began.
On 7 News Spotlight, Sunday.
Start your day with Sustain Complete. So, whatever you do, wherever you are, your dry eyes won't hold you back. From a quick stopover to a rewarding chase, Sustain Complete keeps you focused every step of the way. Sustain Complete, all-in-one relief for all types of irritated, tired, dry eyes. Sustain Complete. 2 drops, 1 focused you. Now preservative-free. Visit the Sustain website to learn more.
At IKEA, we believe that who you grow into can start with what you love to grow at home. Make yourself at home with IKEA.
There's 100 years of history hidden at Repco, and some great offers too, like up to 25% off almost everything store-wide, exclusive to NRMA members. End Sunday, Repco, driven by passion for 100 years.
Chromebooks are a new way to laptop, starting with the everything button, so you can find anything the moment you need it. From files and apps, even answers online, instantly. And Chromebooks are secure with virus protection that's built in. So no more of this. And a lot more peace of mind. So peaceful. So if you're ready to upgrade to fast, easy and secure, don't just switch to a new laptop. Switch to a new way to laptop. Switch to Chromebook.
Gina, when's my next appointment?
I can help you do that right now. I Thrive.
Thrive?
I do it all. Appointments, customer list, payments, emails. I Thrive. Ooh, I'm as handsome as I am convenient.
Get started at thrive.com.au.
With car insurance premiums rising, Samuel thought it was time to look around for better value. He saved $473 when he switched. Try Yui. You could save too.
So good.
Yui. You insured.
When frequent heartburn ruins your dinner plans, Nexium 24-Hour can help. Nexium 24-Hour gives you all-day and night protection for frequent heartburn relief. Live life less interrupted with Nexium 24-Hour. Available for the best price at Chemist Warehouse.
Final days to unwind at the Plush End of Financial Year sale. Save up to 40% on selected leather and fabric sofas, recliners and armchairs. 100% made for you. The End of Financial Year sale has been extended. Plush. Think sofas.
At Macquarie, we're not only helping people buy the homes they love, but we're also ensuring they have the confidence to embrace the future, knowing that we're by their side. With great rates, low fees and fast turnaround times, isn't it time you discovered why more and more Australians are saying, I bank with Macquarie. Macquarie, rewarding good borrowers.
New research has confirmed what many parents already know. Children aren't eating enough vegetables. More than 80% of kids aged 12 and under are not meeting their required intake of a cup or more of veggies a day. Part of the problem, researchers say, is a move towards allowing children to choose what and how much they eat. Nutritionists say the results are worrying and urge parents not to give up on introducing new foods. More beehives will be destroyed in the race to eliminate the varroa mite. A new emergency biosecurity zone has been set up around a property at Calga, west of Gosford on the Central Coast. The parasite that devastates honeybee hives was detected there on Thursday. It was first found in special surveillance hives at the Port of Newcastle last week. Australia is one of a few countries in the world free of the pest. More than 130,000 Australians are set to benefit from a safer, easier and now cheaper way to manage their type 1 diabetes. It's thanks to a new government subsidy that will see the cost of the technology slashed from thousands each year to $30 a month.
Flying high, Sydney Swans defender Paddy McCartan.
Didn't really fancy.
But it isn't just his football that's had people talking this season.
Paddy McCartan, bit of talk during the week, type 1 diabetic.
Busy staying on top of his game and his blood sugar levels.
People were thinking, why has he got a phone on the ground? That's for the insulin reading.
It gives me a lot of comfort, it allows me to sort of be comfortable in what I'm doing. And
A wearable device, CGM tracks glucose levels constantly, day and night, and can sound the alarm when they become too high or too low, doing away with the dreaded finger prick.
And it's good to know what they are because it does impact your behaviour and how you're going to manage your health.
And the more information we have, the better in order to guide our management in terms of diet and insulin levels that we prescribe.
It's cutting-edge technology that until now was only accessed by around a third of patients, mostly due to the cost. But that's all changing with a new government subsidy slashing the price.
The subsidy will allow people to pay $32.50 a month.
This announcement is an extension of the subsidies already offered to those under 21 or women planning pregnancy. If you're interested, you can apply via the National Diabetes Services Scheme.
I know that there's a lot of people out there who haven't been able to afford using it, and that's really been difficult, you know, because it is life-changing. It changes the way you live and it changes the way you feel about being a type 1 diabetic.
Amber Laidler, 7 News.
For those with a sweet tooth, this could be the dream job. The nationwide hunt for lolly testers is on. How you can apply. Don't miss that story soon on 7 News. But first, Matt's here with sport, and Wayne Bennett's been put in his place, Matty.
Yeah, Melbourne called Wayne's bluff today, and good evening, everyone. Cameron Munster's staying with the Storm. All today's footy next, including the Sharks and Dogs in a deluge. Also, Israel Folau's Test rugby comeback, but why it didn't last for long. And Ash Barty takes on a man more than twice her size and wins.
Two of the hottest teams in the comp will face their reckoning.
That is unreal.
On Saturday Night Footy, the Magpies are on a 5-game winning streak, but the Suns are on the edge of their first final series ever.
And they stay alive in the race for September.
Saturday Night Footy on 7 Mate.
Harvey Norman, your destination for the Samsung Galaxy S22 series. Get the Galaxy S22 5G 128GB for $0 up front when you connect to a new Optus $69 per month SIM-only plan for 24 months. That's right, sign up to a new $69 per month Optus SIM-only plan for 24 months and get the Galaxy S22 5G 128GB for $0 up front. Offer ends 3rd July. Harvey Norman, your premium Optus dealer.
Go! That's Sarah from Home Loans.
We're not going to let this one get away.
Sometimes you need an expert in more than just money. NAB, more than money.
Hey, I'm Andy.
Hey, Andy.
And I'm Andy's dandruff. Where my itches at?
Itch ruining your move? That could be dandruff. Silence it. Head & Shoulders removes up to 100% of dandruff and itch. Head & Shoulders.
Got $1 a week? At the Daily Telegraph, we're for giving you great value. Get digital access to all our news, plus weekend paper delivery for just $1 a week for the first 12 weeks. Search Daily Telegraph offer today.
I'm on the next level, yeah, I know you heard about it. You know I'm about it, and don't you ever doubt it. I'm incomparable, that's why they staring low. Turn up the stereo, check it out, check it out, check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce me.
play for Oz. The next world champ. Don't like a beast.
Hope you've had your Weet-Bix.
I think it's time for you to learn the family business.
Huh?
We help Australians look to save on everything from insurance to energy. And here is the real brains of the business. The machine that goes bing!
Ooh, what does it do, Papa?
It goes, bing.
Every time someone compares with Compare the Market.
Oh, look, another one. What?
No.
We've helped more than 6 million Australians look for a better deal. Simple.
JB Hi-Fi's Mobile Madness is on now with prices smashed. Like this Motorola Edge 20 Fusion phone thrown out for $249. That's half price. And get a ridiculous $650 off this Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra phone crunched to $11.99. That's nuts. JB, you've done it again.
Australia's top holiday destinations, affordable and family-friendly, plus Tom Cruise at 60, celebrating the Top Gun's top moments. Weekend sunrise, 7 a.m.
Cronulla are locked in the top four, and as we saw today, they're good in all conditions. Shocking for fans and Bulldogs at CommBank Stadium, but okay for slippery Sharks.
Talakai, he goes outside, and Ronaldo Mulatalo.
Trouble for Josh Addo-Carr, lifting Jesse Ramey, and sharp work from Jeremy Marshall-King and Jake Averillo for 6-all at half-time. It became an old-fashioned mud bath. Still, the modern wingers can do it all. Even Nico Hines slotting sideline conversions. We're feeling for Bulldog Declan Casey, steamrolled by Andrew Fafita. He won't remember his NRL debut. 18-6 Cronulla, a tough and satisfying victory.
Probably suited our style of play, but, the Dogs have been really good the last 2 weeks especially, and they've showed that again tonight.
Tavita Pangai's leg injury is another blow for the Bulldogs. Biggest night of the year in Townsville, the Queensland Derby, a rough one for the halfbacks early. Adam Reynolds' ribs are a big target. Chad Townsend's sloppy clean-up job allowed Billy Walters to score first. Reynolds provided the Cowboys' first try.
Everything the Cowboys are throwing at them, now they come out. Oh! Intercept! Tauranga accepts the gift.
A Tiger 2 weeks ago, Luciane Leilua drew a penalty with his first run, and look at the reaction of the Cowboys. The first half had it all, including Selwyn Cobbo in full flight, 10-8 North Queensland at the break. Wayne Bennett has lost yet another contract war for now. Cameron Munster will remain with the Storm until the end of next season. A free-for-all for Munster's signature for 2024 will start on November 1.
Tackling League's biggest rumour, Cam Munster confirms he's staying a Stormtrooper.
I'm committed to the club until 2023 where my contract ends.
Munster's being wooed by Dolphins coach Wayne Bennett, who only yesterday repeated the new franchise would make him an offer for 2024. A furious Storm filing formal complaints with the NRL.
Wayne's Wayne, probably just trying to stir the pot.
Munster, the last Storm star to sign long-term, his immediate goal, getting that shoulder right for Origin 3.
Yeah, just play through it, bite on the mouthguard and toughen up.
Referee Jared Sutton reckoned this was a dangerous tackle.
Oh, that's hard to believe. I mean, that's just a horrible decision. They're big decisions that, you can't get wrong. And it wasn't good enough.
Next set, Viliami Kikau put the Panthers in front on half-time.
That's a tough one on the Roosters.
They hung tough. Siosua Takiaho running Kikau's line. Dangerous tackler Sam Verrills burrowing over to put them in front. Penrith's Origin contingent, all class. Nathan Cleary pinpoint for Isaac Tangor. 26-18 Panthers. Sealed by Blues hooker Api Coruscant.
That's a big play.
Against Newcastle, a dangerous tackle by the Titans' Jared Wallace.
Oh, that's upended. That's a problem.
The firebrand emerging from Dave Clemmer.
Bit of old Dave come out, just a bit of red mist. I couldn't help myself.
Wallace sent off and banned for 2 weeks. Clemmer binned. A hat-trick for winger Dom Young. A club record 5 tries for Edric Lee. Knights 38, Titans 12. Andrew McKinlay, 7 News.
The Swans' top 4 chances copped a huge blow, beaten in a thriller by Essendon. All Sydney early, Buddy Franklin booting the Bloods to a 3-goal lead at the first break, but Essendon wouldn't go away. Peter Wright from almost 60 metres.
From miles out, launches a huge
The bomber known as the package, Jake Stringer, delivering 2 match-winning majors. The 9-point loss may be ruled by Sydney as the one that got away. Israel Folau's comeback to Test rugby was sadly cut short this afternoon, playing his first Test for Tonga against Fiji in the Pacific Nations Cup. Now 33, Folau hardly touched the ball, then appeared to tear a hamstring while chasing a kick-off. He limped off after 26 minutes. A rough day for Todai Kefu's team in Suva, thrashed 36-0.
He's got players in support in Tui Thubu.
It was Folau's first Test in 4 years since his Wallabies sacking and eventual move to Japan. Pat Cummins' plan to conquer India has started perfectly. Australia's first Test win in little more than 2 days came after a challenge to embrace spinning Sri Lankan conditions. It all leads to facing India on their turf in March.
Part of probably the environment that we try and create. So, failure is absolutely okay as long as you're fouling in a way you're happy to be.
India and England are finishing a series stopped 10 months ago by COVID, from 5 for 98 to 7 for 338 at stumps at Edgbaston after Rishabh Pant's swashbuckling 146 from 111 balls. Aussie Jason Kubler is becoming the feel-good story of this year's Wimbledon. At 29, he's into the 3rd round for the first time. Victory over Denis Novak, worth at least $213,000. The former world junior #1 is finally getting what he deserves after knee injuries ruined his early career. No mercy for fellow Serb Miomir Kekmanovic as Novak Djokovic continued a 4-year unbeaten run on grass into the last 16 for the 14th time.
I know I can always do better. I always expect the highs from myself.
A quarter-final with 19-year-old Spaniard Carlos Alcaraz looms. Across the pond, Ash Barty playing golf.
Can we just be clear for everyone? You are hitting off the men's tees.
I am. I'm trying to keep up. I'm making sure I had...
Better than that, Ash beat the hulking Super Bowl winner Andrew Whitworth 1-up in their 10-hole singles match in the Icon Series.
A beautiful setting, beautiful golf course, an incredible atmosphere, incredible series, and it was a lot of fun.
Ricky Ponting had his moments, but lost to legendary baseball pitcher John Smoltz. And George Gregan went down to dual Super Bowl winner and TV star Michael Strahan. The American team won the event featuring 24 global sporting greats. The 109th 3-week Tour de France started with a 13.2k time trial on the slippery streets of Copenhagen.
It is an ice skating ring and he can't stay on his skates.
Belgian Yves Lampaert was a surprise winner in 15 minutes and 17 seconds. Mike Matthews is the best Aussie 25 seconds back. The Bahrain victorious team, including Aussie Jack Hayes, started after Europol raids, uncovering hundreds of capsules of undetermined brown and white content at their hotel. At Silverstone, Sir Lewis Hamilton greeted his loyal subjects and Lance Stroll spun out in opening practice for the British Grand Prix on Daniel Ricciardo's 33rd birthday.
Well, it won't be my birthday tomorrow, so just be more focused, I guess.
9th fastest, Ricciardo also won a bouncy ball drag race with Lando Norris, then almost KO'd his teammate. And I did see you wondering there, that bloke that Ash Barty played against weighs about 170 kilos, so I reckon he's more than double her size.
She does well, doesn't she?
She's too good.
Thanks, Maddie. As far as jobs go, it doesn't get much sweeter than this. Australia's biggest confectionery company is on the hunt for lolly taste testers. And the only skills needed, a love of sugar.
It's a sweet gig for those with a sweet tooth.
It's like my inner 5-year-old came out and it was like, my dream job is here.
She's not sugarcoating it. Avashi Agarwal has been recruited as one of Allen's Confectionery's newest lolly testers.
They're so good.
And they need more hands on deck.
We're offering the best job in the world for people who love lolly lots.
You won't get paid, but you will get free lollies and lots of them. Then all you need to do is let Allen's know your thoughts.
It will be a combination of old favourites so that we can make sure that people continue to love our product, but also new products that we've put outside in the market to make sure that we've hit the mark with our new ones as well.
The only requirement, you have to be over 18 and have a love of all things sweet.
I really don't think it'll be that hard to find people. I think there'll be too many people who are just like, I want to try all these new things.
So people and you can really control the future of lollies.
Applications to be an Allen's tester close tomorrow, but if lollies aren't your thing, stay tuned. KitKat will be launching its tester program next week. No doubt their inbox will be chock-a-block. Rosie Barnett, 7 News.
We're being warned to be prepared for dangerous weather over the next 24 hours. Sally's back now. Sal, what's the latest?
And the worst of the weather has been to the south of Sydney today, but that will certainly change tomorrow. I'll have all the details with Sydney's severe weather outlook next.
When you think about the food you love, it's nearly always home cooking. I'm a home cook, and it's the food that I want to eat. I've come 17,000 kilometres to find Australia's best home cooks. They could be behind that door, or that one. Someone could be cooking it right now. The best recipe I've ever tasted. A hidden family treasure only they know. Welcome home. Should we go? See, we won't forget where we came from. The city can't change us. We beat to the same drum, the same drum. No matter where we go, we always find our way back home. Food's meant to be shared. Yeah, bring it on!
The new Arlo Go 2 mobile security camera that connects wherever you are with 4G or Wi-Fi coverage. Whether you're off-site, on-site or out of sight, you're always protected. It's security made mobile.
When you choose Allianz Comprehensive Car Insurance, you can save on your premium by simply increasing your basic excess. Search Allianz Car Insurance to get your quote today.
I saved the deal. Oh my God.
Ah, Allianz.
The Nick Scali half-yearly clearance has been extended. Your last chance to shop now and save big. The Nick Scali half-yearly clearance. Extended, but must end Sunday.
The Good Guys Big Deal Days is on now. Get 15% off a great range of Hisense TVs. Over 200 off this soundbar. This dishwasher only $888. And get over 200 off this fridge. Big Deal Days on now at The Good Guys.
Forgot this? Love you, Dad.
There's a glass and a half in everyone.
Morning skin is the best skin, but it loses plumpness throughout the day. Try this. Unlike regular collagen, it's easily absorbed. New Olay Collagen Peptide. Plump and bouncy skin all day long.
Your husband Dom has been given a ResMed wakeover. Let's see the difference better sleep makes.
I love it.
Start your ResMed wakeover. Take a free sleep assessment at resmed.com.au and awaken your best.
Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson.
You don't like me because I'm white. I don't like you because you're going to get me killed.
Die Hard with a Vengeance. Tonight, 7:30 on 7.
Tonight's 7 News headlines. Sydney is being lashed by a powerful weather system, with residents in the Hawkesbury Nepean flood zone told to be prepared to evacuate. And Anthony Albanese and Emmanuel Macron have put the submarine crisis behind them and pledged a new start for Australia's relationship with France. Sally's here now to tell us where and when the heaviest rain is likely to fall. Sal?
And parts of Sydney have already seen up to 90 millimetres of rain today. Tomorrow things will be much worse, with flash flooding and overflowing catchments a big concern. The city has seen a fairly steady rain rate throughout today. Around 50 millimetres has fallen in the gauges, with a top of 15 degrees. Heavier falls recorded through Lucas Heights and Holsworthy today. In terms of temperatures, they were certainly cool under all that cloud cover and also all that rain. Now, the heaviest falls so far have been through the Illawarra. That was pummeled by around 200 millimetres of rain, exceeding their July average by a mile. Things will continue to deteriorate into tonight. That's as that trough deepens and that low just forms off the Hunter coast. Rain will really escalate. It'll also whip up seas and wild winds. Into tonight, we'll also see the impact across those river systems from all this rain we've seen even today. There are a lot of warnings at the moment for minor flood warnings. That could really change in a matter of hours. They will be updated, so please keep a close eye on those. Around the capital cities for tomorrow, tops of 21 degrees into Brisbane, fine in Perth with a top of 19 degrees. Let's have a closer look at New South Wales tomorrow. The weather, of course, will be relatively meek through the west. The real focus tomorrow is on that coastal area. In terms of the Illawarra, we're expecting around 150 millimetres through Port Kembla and Wollongong. Also heavy falls through parts of the central coast, Gosford and Wyong, around 120 millimetres in the gauges. Falls of around 50 millimetres forecast through Newcastle. You can see that low just developing there, and even into Bateman's Bay we'll see falls around 20 to 30 millimetres. For Sydney, dangerous conditions are forecast up to 120 millimetres widespread. Penrith will even see heavier falls up to 150 millimetres there. Big, powerful surf will pound the coast tomorrow. Plenty of energy in the sets, 5 metres swell, and that will, of course, trigger beach erosion. A low of 13 degrees tonight, 16 degrees tomorrow. Into Monday, that rain is going to continue. The good news is, though, the low is going to move away fairly quickly from the coast. That will dry up the bulk of the wet weather. But as you can see, for the remainder of the week, we'll just see some light showers throughout, but nothing like we've got over the next 48 hours, Anne.
All right, Sal, thank you very much. And that's 7 News for this Saturday. We'll have updates for you throughout the evening. I'm Ann Sanders. From all the team, thank you for joining us. Have a lovely night.